Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Workbench here at Scale Models Midwest. David here as always. Hope you're having a great week. I got two videos I'm going to work on for today and for the weekend. First one here is just an update on what I have been doing and also what I've not been doing. I did the painting, airbrush, on both the Drift Truck and the Pro Street Chevelle. And I wanted to kind of give you an update on what I've got so far here. So as you can see from the thumbnail and on the table, I've made some progress. So let me go ahead and show you what I've got so far. First things first, I'm going to look at the Chevelle, and as you can see here, the airbrush turned out really well. I've got some junk that I still have to sand out, but I've got 4 coats of 2K clear on that from Scale Finishes, and the body prep was really good to begin with, but still I got some dust to sand out. I'll be doing that with anywhere from 1500 to 12,000 grit polishing cloths, and then I'll start more assembly on it. I realized the tail lamp panel, I have to actually cut the tail lamps out, so the tulip panel, or whatever you call it, goes right here on the trunk lid, and then the tail lamps go into those sides. But that's one for the weekend. All in all, I think did a pretty good job. Like I said, I was basically hand brushing the burgundy, orange, and yellow. While it's not perfect, I think for what it's worth, I think I did pretty good. Had the spacing done fairly decently. And the silver and black turned out especially nice. I've always liked the silver and black two-tone. One of the first ones I ever did. It's always been on my model table since. Has been this guy right here, Riviera. I think one of the, if not the best looking car that GM ever made. And there's my two-tone paint on that. This is about 20 years old, this paint job. Got AMG wheels on it. Simple setup. Got the nail head. This is always sat on my desk as an inspiration, so when I was going to work on the paint scheme for the Chevelle, I looked at that one, made sure I did all the masking right. Looked pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and set that up onto the side and show you what I got for the truck. So now with the truck, I was talking with Dan Doan about it. He liked the way it was going. I like the way it's going too, the pink and the purple. And I've also got 4 coats of 2K clear on this. He said it's got a sweet tart vibe to it. And you know what? I tried to find a way that I could get the logos to sweet tart so I could put it across the door, even across the top, usually on the door. But I could not find anything worthy enough that I could print out on decal sheet. Those of you who have this kit or are looking to purchase it, the front end, the grill, I actually had to use a moto tool to sand down back behind it about the 1/16 of an inch so it could fit square inside the grill, and that did out pretty good. The interior I don't have done yet because Dan made me a suggestion. Since the seats are pink, as we got here, since they're pink, I wanted to put some racing harnesses on there. I've got the hardware, so I thought, why not get some seat belts for them? I've got black and I've got red. He thought maybe purple would be good. So today I plan on going to the arts and crafts store, Michael's, and seeing if they got really thin purple ribbon, and I can use that for the seat belt hardware. And push comes to shove, I'll just cut very thin strips of tape and paint that purple and go from there. Roll cage here I can't put on until the body front has been fixed, because these mount to the back of the cab on all 4 sides, and then this mounts about the middle of the chassis on the rear end here, about right at this point. Okay, now as far as the chassis is concerned, this thing went together really well. The majority of it is already 3D printed. One of the gripes I have about this kit is these dang axle half shafts much like the Salvino's JR half shafts that are in the Camaros, Toyotas, and Fords, except you can actually get those to fit. These do not fit. They're too long, and I think they should have just been molded in during the 3D printing process. They would have gone right there, much like you see with the Salvino's JR kits. I'm still going to try and get them to fit. If I don't get them to fit, no worries. I don't expect this to be sitting on a contest table to win. I initially had the wheels chromed using the chrome paint from Rust-Oleum, but I thought it was too chrome. I wanted this to look a little more weathered, so I dulled them out a bit, and I think that looked pretty good. The engine, now the motivation for this thing, I stuck with the dry shaft in place, but that looks pretty sharp. Let's see if I can get the larger light on for you, see if you can see it better. The engine went together really well. I do like the intake. I'm going to see if I can't find a decal for the intake. If I don't, no harm, no foul. I have no instructions to put this thing together. If you look, I've had to go to the web, and there is my drift truck, the pictures. So I wanted to follow that. In fact, I had to follow that because those turbos, they took a while to get in there, but once I got them in there, they matched right up to the X exhaust, and now I still have to put the finishing touch on that part. But otherwise, this thing worked really well. Also, make sure when you are, if you're building this kit, that your rear mounting points for the hardware from the pickup bed to the chassis, and they're molded into the pickup body, 3D printed, that they're in there just right, so you can get it to kind of hunker down, and then you can put the rear airfoil, spoiler, what do you want to call it, in the slots right at the end of the chassis, in between where your tailgate's place would go. I at first couldn't find tail lamps for that, but then I realized they were 3D printed. I wondered what these were. That's what they are. So I'm gonna get those mounted and then go from there. Again, once I have the ribbon in place, I'll mount them in the seat, and then I'll mount the seats into the chassis, and then I'll take the roll cage and glue it back on, start putting it together, and hopefully, if I find the ribbon tonight, I'll have this all done up, buttoned up for the weekend and for the second video. I've got just a few more parts left here to find out where they go, and like I said, I'm looking at some stuff like this right here. I'm looking at the video. It's going to go right back there. I'm not going to do any kind of wiring or tubing on this, but I did see something kind of interesting right here, and that's where the axle half shafts would go. It doesn't look like they're in that either, in that picture, so maybe they had the same difficulty I did putting them together, but it doesn't really matter. The kit still builds up really, really well. You can, if you are interested in this, it's a Blackbox STL file that you can print yourself. Go check it out. I actually bought the kit, and like I said, it didn't come with instructions, so I had to get on the web for that. But otherwise, it looked pretty good. I like it. It's a different subject, I'm not used to building, and yeah, it did pretty good. And then I got this one looking good. So we got those to work on. Last thing I was going to show you, my daughter and I went up to the hobby shop in Ames a week ago, and she wanted another military kit. Like me, she's into World War II especially, but she likes any kind of military models, mostly tanks, military on-the-ground defenses, where I like my jets. And so I told her she could pick whatever she wanted out. The guy there had already inventoried all this stuff, and she came up with this. She decided on this German tank, anti-tank gun, right here. Move this guy out of the way so I don't knock it over. There we go. But this is what she picked out. It's a Tamiya 1/35 scale anti-tank gun, and looks nice. It comes with 4 of the German troops, and I think it also comes with this stuff. And I told her to make sure that she looks at the side for what kind of paints it requires. Like here, it said German gray, TS4, and then there was also TS78, which is field gray, usually for the uniforms. So while we were there, we checked, and sure enough, TS4 and TS78. So she's got spring break coming up, and she said she wanted to work on building that kit. So we're going to do that. By that time, I should be on another kit, because by then the truck will be done. This car will be probably 90% complete, the Pro Street Chevelle, and then I'll be working on another kit. I've got a friend of mine that wanted me to build him a Monte Carlo, and I've got another car I want to build. I saw a group build out there for 60s rule. He's got another 60s build, and I kind of like that. So I was looking at my old Johan kit, my 64 Super Stock Dodge. So I might just pull that out and see about putting that together. Otherwise, that's how it's been. You know, it's been pretty busy around here. Didn't get a chance to get down to the model table too often, but you know, life happens, and yet I'm still getting down here on occasion to build it, and that's what's important. So with that, I'm going to go on ahead and get some other stuff taken care of, get this posted. I hope everybody's out there building cool kits. Thanks for checking out the channel as always. We'll catch you in the next video.